rope squishy. Yeah.
Hey y'all.
Let's get it. Top.
How y'all doing? I'm Maddy, your host from Top Rope Squishy, and we are live for another show. And if you don't know him already, he is the one and the only, the tea spiller. B-Mac, thank you for gracing my show with your presence.
No, thank you for inviting me back. Listen, I've been trying to get back here for a while, so thank you for reaching out.
Of course. It's been busy, I try to give everybody some booking space, and then I'm like, oh my God, let me reach out to so-and-so. It's time. So thank you. Very happy that you're back on. People, if you're in the room, please make sure you check out his Double Count Pod. Can you just tell people about your show, when it comes on, where to find
it? Comes on. Well, it comes on tonight at 10:30, and we'll be shooting tonight because had some things to move around, but we will be covering last night's Dynamite and previewing tomorrow's Rampage as well. So definitely check us out. And who knows, it's like I may be spilling some tea close to the Ring of Honor Final Battle, which the tickets go on sale next week, which I have some heat as far as the lineup is concerned.
Ooh, I can't wait. So, B-Mac, for this Dynamite, overall, what do you give this Dynamite? What do you score this Dynamite?
Counting the ending, I give it a 10. As far as the wrestling aspect, it was a 10. Like the storytelling, everything hit how it's supposed to. And that's exactly what I wanted. It was a free quality pay-per-view.
Yeah. I gave it an 8.5. I reserved those 10s for like a match that made me stand up out of my feet, off my chair, on my feet, and it was definitely amazing, especially at the end where we got to see MJF letting everybody know that he is, yes, indeed, going to be making that face turn. He's going to be like a
monster. I don't know how I feel about that, though. I think they should keep him here for like a little while longer because he hasn't really did all he can as a heel yet. But I don't know. It's looking like he'll be turning heel. I mean, a babyface before Full Gear, which is in like 3 weeks, I believe.
Yes, very soon. I don't see him as a full-on face. You know what I mean? Like a goody two shoes type of face.
He'll be a tweener.
I see him more like a Moxley who walks that fine line between face and heel to the point where he doesn't even come through one of the tunnels.
But can you imagine like his promos as champion though? He's disrespectful now. He's gonna be extra disrespectful as champion.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't wait. I mean, I would prefer him also. I agree with No Neck Bone Tone. I would prefer for MJF to turn heel only because stay heel because he is like the best heel that they have. They have a lot of good faces. They really can't afford to lose him as a heel, I think. And he's so over right now. So
yeah, they don't need to turn him babyface. Let that ride out and then maybe turn him mid-run. But don't turn him before he get the championship. Like that'll be like a waste, in my opinion.
I agree. I hope they scrap it. If that was in the plans, I hope they end up scrapping it for real.
Please do.
Please, right? MJF needs to stay heel, y'all. All right. Well, Dynamite last night started with the Blackpool Combat Club taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society. And it was a banger. It was Claudio Castagnoli, right? With Wheeler Yuta. And they went up against Jericho and Daniel Garcia. Jericho, who in his 50s is still giving us bangers. What the fuck is that? But yeah.
This man is what, like 51? Like he's just not turned 51. This man is 51, still putting on bangers like he's 25. Like he's his step from WCW Jericho.
I gotta see. I think he is 52. Like,
well, 52. Listen, he's wrestling better than guys half his age.
Yes. Let's see. I'm just so curious. Jericho. Of course, they give me the city Jericho. Jericho wrestler. Yes, we are doing a live search here. Oh, you were right. He is 51. He's about to be 52.
Well, for him to be almost 52, he's having the best run of his career since he's been in AEW. And I don't think anybody can argue that because he's looked physically the best he's looked in the last few months since he made that change, because I think he had almost like a death scare like at one point at the height of the pandemic. And so he said that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he had to like make a lifestyle change. And well, I need your diet because, sir, your abs are, listen.
Okay, like he found a youth or something. Jericho is going to be turning 52 on November 9th. He's a Scorpio, and that's amazing.
That explains it.
Like, that makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense with him.
So yes, great fucking match. After this match, though, we got a nice little video highlight of the Elite, which I know they coming back. And V-Mac, I know you know they coming back, and you definitely put it on Twitter that they were in the
Well, first of all, let's talk about it because the Elite, all three were backstage last night for Dynamite. Kenny and the Bucks were backstage last night.
Was CM Punk back there too?
Listen, I don't know what him and Larry was, but I know the Elite, they were backstage, and the roster was so happy to see them back that they were very excited that they came back.
That's what I was reading, yeah, that the roster was very happy to see the Elite back, see, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks back. I know I've been missing them. I was very upset that we lost specifically Kenny Omega after not having him for so long to lose him again.
He had what, like 1-2 matches? Like 1 or 2 matches before they... Yeah, like 2 matches because he had the match on Dynamite, and then that weekend they won the trios, and then like they was off TV, just like that.
Motherfuckers, why?
But that's okay though because they was backstage last night. That we do know.
Ooh, do you think they come back for Rampage since it's live, or do you think they come back on Dynamite next week because it's a bigger bang?
You know what? Since we got 3 more Dynamites before Full Gear, I think they do it at the Go Home show.
You don't think they come back to the actual show until like 2
bring them
weeks
back at the Go Home show? Bring them back at the Go Home Dynamite show that weekend before Full Gear.
So they're just gonna keep teasing us with little vignettes
do
here
it.
or there.
Okay. And I say that because the way they cooked that promo last night, that promo was well played. They got Thanos last night. Like they got Thanos last night. Like.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah, bring them back. Bring them back like the week before Full Gear. And then have them face Death Triangle at Full Gear for the Trios Championships. Because I'm gonna tell you, well, no, I can't. I'll take that off the air, but yeah, there was a whole reason why that match was rescheduled. But I'll take that off air though.
Oh, I get the juice and the tea off air. Hey. Don't be jelly, y'all. But that was, I think, a very important part of yesterday's show. Even though it was like maybe 25 seconds long, something like that.
And shout out to Brian Alvarez because he tweeted hours before that it could be a big night for AEW. And since I'm one of his super followers, you know what I'm saying, I was able to, you know what I'm saying, like get the tweet. You know, it's like before the main timeline. But yeah, he tweeted that it was going to be potentially like a big night for it. And no other wrestling comes on Wednesdays besides AEW. So we knew that's what he was talking about. And we got the Dynamite promo package for the Elite, which was well structured. And let's be real, there is no AEW without the Elite. It's all Elite wrestling for a reason.
That's what I said. I literally said that to my husband quite a few weeks ago. I'm like, this don't make no sense. They are definitely coming back. If I had to pick a side to return, it would clearly be the Elite.
And let's also speak about the fact that last week, Don Callis was at Rampage.
Right.
Kenny Omega, they had Rampage in Orlando last week, correct? Live.
Yes, they did.
Kenny Omega was on site for that Rampage last week, backstage. So he was backstage last week.
We just finding these things out now. Us
No,
regular.
because I posted the picture like the night. It's like the night it surfaced. Like he was at the Orlando Resort last week.
He was there, and people were posting pictures, seeing
Mm-hmm.
him in the area, seeing him in the Orlando Universal Studios.
Mm-hmm.
He was just there for the park. So Swerve in our glory. Allegedly. Swerve in Our Glory, which is Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, took on FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler for such a fucking
tag team match of the year contender.
I loved that fucking match. Swerve in Our Glory won, albeit by nefarious means, when Swerve low-blowed an FTR member. But Keith Lee didn't see it, and the ref didn't see it. And so Keith Lee pinned his opponent, and they ended up winning. But I think once Keith Lee finds out what his partner did, it's going to be
listen, this story has been well played. They've been playing the story between Keith and Swerve so well because they've been teasing a breakup for a while. But I wouldn't break them up just yet because you could do so much more with them as a tag team, because I need them versus the Briscoes at one of these Ring of Honor pay-per-views. I need them versus the Briscoes before they break them up. Please.
Yes. Can we talk about this real quick about Keith Lee not being human? He
absolutely not. He's not human.
He did a split in the air above two very wide back dudes that were standing side by side and cleared them easily. Do you understand how big this guy is? This is not a normal sized dude. This is a 400-pound dude almost, busting splits in midair above people. What the fuck?
Listen, Keith Lee is what he should have been in WWE and AEW. He's getting to show what he's really about, and he hasn't stopped since. But I would say this was his best showing since he's been in AEW last night.
Yes, indubitably. I got it out. Usually my mouth cannot say the words properly. So we got Keith Lee jumping over FTR. He is insanely agile for someone that big. And then the Gun Club came and attacked FTR, but the Acclaimed were sitting, the current tag champs, they were sitting at the ramp of the freaking entranceway watching this entire match with daddy ass Billy Gunn, whose birthday is going to be celebrated next week. And when the Gun Club started attacking FTR, the Acclaimed ran in to help them out. So that is how that ended. They didn't get to scissor, but they did it with the chairs. Guys, we have temporarily lost B-Mac. Let me see. I'm trying to read these comments. No Neck Bone Tone would like to see Swerve as a heel, stay in as a heel. I do think he's a better heel than a face, Swerve. So I would like to see Swerve remain a heel or turn heel. But to do that,
I say this.
He's going to have to go against Keith Lee.
Swerve. Okay. Swerve, you can do Swerve versus Kenny Omega. I need Swerve versus Kenny Omega when Kenny comes back. Like, for real, for real. Yeah. I need that on AEW pay-per-view. Like, give me heel Swerve versus babyface Kenny Omega.
Yes. Any day.
And let them go to full 20 minutes on pay-per-view, and you will get a classic out of both of them.
I think that match has been, like, people have asked for that match on multiple occasions on social media. And
listen, we need it. We need that because that's box office, and that could be main event. And it doesn't even have to be for a championship. That would be just two marquee names just because.
No championship involved. I just want them to have beef and go at it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I mean, those two guys, they can both go. Real quick, did you get to see that? I didn't get to see Dark, but I did get to see a clip of Brian Pillman Jr. pulling off.
He looked very Kenny Omega-esque.
Yeah, very
He looked
Omega.
very he looked very Kenny Omega in his bag-esque.
Yeah.
He looked like he's been training with Kenny Omega backstage.
Yeah.
While Kenny been on TV.
He had the hair going. He had the pants. He switched from the man tees to the pants.
It wasn't even the pants. It was that dive he did that was so much like Kenny Omega, like Kenny does.
The dive outside of the ring. But even when he would run into the corners, he would point like Kenny does and do that little up leg before Kenny does. And then it was...
I would not be surprised.
And I was like, is that Kenny? He's back? No.
I would not be surprised if Kenny's been giving him advice behind the scenes since he hasn't been on TV since All Out. I'm just saying. And let's not forget the fact that they just had Juggle Kiana versus Riho. That was Kenny's doing as well. I'm just saying. He's been all over AEW, but we just haven't been able to see him.
Yeah, they've been doing it from the back because they're working up a way to get back to TV in a way that makes sense. So they're going to build a story into it. That's basically what they're doing. So when you left, I had mentioned how the Gun Club attacked FTR and then the Acclaim came to save the day. But this match
I'm not here for that. I'm not here for the match between FTR versus the Gun Club. I'm not.
Oh.
Because I feel like FTR should be going after the gold. They shouldn't be worse than that. Well, don't get me wrong. I get it. They're building their future young tag teams, which is important.
Yes.
But come on. You got teams like Gates of Agony that you could be putting on TV in place of them. Khan looks like a star already. Total Leona looks like a star already. Why do we gotta wait until the Ring around the pay-per-view just so they can get pushed? Like, come on, Tony, what are we doing?
Well, I'm more interested in seeing the Acclaim go up against Swerve in Our Glory again.
Why?
You're not?
I mean, we just had that, but didn't we just have that?
We did. But some matches are so amazing that it's nice to revisit. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. You want to test them as a champion? Have them go up against FTR. That's how I would have booked that. Because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best tag team in the world, which is FTR right now.
Well, maybe they are going to get that match at Full Gear. You understand? But maybe they didn't want to have FTR go up against the Acclaimed right now because it would be kind of screwy to take the belt off of the Acclaimed just yet.
But we got to keep in mind, we do have a winter is coming up.
Right, winter's coming as well. Yeah,
so in December, they could do it then. They could do FTR versus the Acclaimed then.
I agree, but taking it now from the Acclaimed when they're still so hot fire, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so here's my question: do you feel like Tony has kind of booked the tag team division into like a hole with FTR having all the championships elsewhere? Because they got the Ring of Honor, the New Japan, the AAA. That's 3 major organizations whose gold you have, and you are badly defending them. Well, they're defending them at the upcoming AAA event, because they're going to be battling Dragon Lee and Jolistico, the brothers of Arush, by the way. But you're badly on TV in your own company. Like, isn't that a problem?
I guess.
Like this whole belt collector gimmick, I've never been a fan of that.
Yeah, because it kind of like automatically makes the people who have the belts have to get the belt in order to continue the gimmick going.
And then it's holding back other teams because they're not like battling for the gold weeks at a time. So you're lost without a story.
Right. Exactly. And I have not been like a huge fan of how the tag belts have been booked in AEW, even though they are like the masters of tag teams.
Mhm.
Not having ever put the belts on Santana and
I know
Ortiz.
where this is going. I know where this is going. I
Put
know where
it
this
on
is going.
Best Friends is a mistake.
But let's
And
be honest though. Do we really want to sit through a best friends title reign as champions
not
when we
right
could be
now, but when they were hot back then, that was the time to do it. When they were having
even
all
back then? I would have rather watched the Lucha Brothers wrestle as champions before them. Like they just don't excite me. And Trent should be solo at this point. Like, come on. Like Trent need to be solo.
yeah, I was very happy with the Lucha Bros getting the belt. I was not
Mhm.
very happy with them losing it so fast.
Wait,
Seriously,
who they beat? Okay.
they got beaten by
Okay.
Jurassic Express. That makes no sense to
Okay,
me.
that is who beat them. Okay, yeah, that's true.
It makes
That's
no
true.
fucking sense. Why?
And then they broke up. Then they
Exactly.
broke up.
Why? So when I say that I've not been very happy with how the tag team belt run has been booked, it's not for
You're right.
all. It's just for
You're
certain
right.
pieces and certain ball drops. Like the Young Bucks
Right.
didn't need to have the belts twice. They became a transitional champion for what? It was,
But let's be honest though, we got to give them credit because each time they battled, each team they've been up against, they make them look like money.
Oh, agree. But they could do that
But
without holding the belt.
they didn't need that second reign. I agree with you there.
Yeah, so and meanwhile, Santana and Ortiz, and I know, yes, I tire everybody out week in, week out, but it's a sore spot for me because now I don't even think they're ever going to be a tag team again. So, whatever. Anyway,
And
MJF.
from the way it's being spilled behind the scenes, they ain't even getting along like that. So
yeah, they don't get along. So, no.
But I'm gonna tell you why though. Because who's the one that got injured?
Santana.
Okay, yeah, he wants more out of them as a tag team. He wants to do more. But Ortiz, he's kind of complacent. Like he's just there getting a check.
Yeah, Ortiz is okay having a job, and Santana wants the belts.
Right, like he not there. Yeah, and that's why they don't get along because one wants to do more and the other one is just basically complacent.
Yeah, he's okay. He's okay having a job, and I get both sides. But right. Monkey's just happy to be there. To be getting paid. Agreed. He's just, and they're not seeing.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but let's keep it real though. For the sake of them as a tag team, you should want to strive to be champion because you are in the second best organization in the world right now, which is AEW, who's the home of tag team wrestling. You should want to be battling those top teams as champion to like further elevate yourself. But I guess Ortiz don't want that, which is fine. But I think
he might. He might want it, but he's okay not getting it. And unfortunately, if you're not seeing eye to eye, huh?
And that's why, like, if I was Santana, I would have a problem with that because I'm like, I want more, and I can't want it for you.
And look, I gotta say this: they're amazing together, but as singles competitors, they lack a little bit. So they need to get it together as a tag team because as singles, they're not gonna ever reach that potential. I'm sorry. I love them.
And that's what I was finna say because if he comes back from injury and they still ain't got it together, and if he chose to go elsewhere, then he's not going to thrive in the WWE. Yeah. He's not going to thrive in singles competition anywhere other than Impact, which, that ain't asking for much because, they finna have Bubba Ray challenging for the championship, and who the hell wants that one?
Exactly.
But to be as far as AEW, he's never going to reach that top echelon as far as AEW singles because that division is stacked in both tag and singles.
They need to come together if they're planning to stay together at AEW and come to an agreement to fight for that belt and go talk to Tony Khan. Because I've heard that unless you fight for yourself, the locker room, the place is great. He's great to work for, but you have to be out there fighting for your piece of bread because if not, that next person that's standing next to you that wants that fight,
I'm gonna tell you the difference.
So you
I'm gonna
fought.
tell you the difference between WWE versus AEW. The main difference is in WWE, they tell you who you're wrestling every week. They give you your script of what to say. They tell you, oh, you're gonna be doing this, so. In AEW, you have to get your own promo time together. You have to get your own bookings outside of AEW together. They don't book your stuff for you. You get your own indie bookings,
Exactly.
and it's basically a free for all. Like every man for himself in AEW, which is how it should be because if you're hungry enough, you can make it happen. I'm just saying.
No, it's true. So I bet Santana wanted to fight and Ortiz didn't, and this is where the rift comes. So I hope when he returns, they've worked it out. Anyway, MJF dropped a huge fucking promo. He threatened Hathaway to not touch Moxley. He wants to win clean to prove to William Regal's ass that unlike him, who needed the Nux, he don't need his diamond ring to win. And so he told Hathaway that if he interferes, if him or anybody interferes, that's right, you will be fired. So that happened. And that was a great promo. It was kind of long. There was even a part where he took the microphone and talked like Moxley and walked like Moxley. And it's funny because the person that was interviewing him at the time was Renee Paquette, who happens to be John Moxley's wife, for those who don't know that. But yeah, so we'll talk more about that promo towards the end.
First of all, shout out to Renee, okay, because we got to give her credit because ever since she's gotten there, would you say their production has been better since she's been added on as far as their TV, like they interview on production?
Yes, the interview time has been a lot better, a lot less awkward. It's sometimes it's a little awkward and the things don't flow.
I think it's because she has so much experience being on TV for that long. I think she was in that position like 8 years in WWE. So she knows the time cues, when to cut in, when to cut out. She knows how to make the talent feel comfortable and confident to pull it out of them. And she's been hitting it like right on the ball. So I'm glad that she's the lead interviewer on Dynamite now because it kind of gives Tony Schiavone a break.
Yeah, exactly. And he can concentrate more on commentating, which
and she's been killing it because she's sitting down with Brie and Saraya next week.
Yes.
That's going to be good. We're finally. I think we're going to get in this interview why Saraya is really in AEW because you know what I'm saying. She told Britt last night, "Bitch, don't start with me. Like you don't even know why I'm here."
Yes, she said.
I think next week, her saying that in that little promo last night, which kind of like went over heads. We're going to find out why she's really there next week.
I hope so because I need to know why. Sriracha
one thing's for sure. We're definitely getting Britt versus Saraya, but most likely at Full Gear. I can already see where they can go with that.
So would it be like, an opener match prior to the pay-per-view?
Yeah. You know what? Because she is such a big name, since she is such a big name, Saraya that is, I would put her on the pre-show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because Sriracha hasn't shown any match. She hasn't had any matches yet. If that turns out to be her first match, let's say.
You know what she need to be doing prior to that, though? She need to be wrestling, practice wrestling every week before TV. Not on Dark. No. Not on Dark. Just getting in the ring every week prior to TV. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like working out with Serena Deeb in the ring. Drills. Or they got Emi Sakura. You know what I'm saying? Just like
yes, Emi Sakura.
Practice wrestling with somebody, you know, something like just to get your wrestle muscle memory back.
Agreed. I really have to come with an open mind because I've never seen Sriracha wrestle.
I'm gonna be honest. When she was on her game pre-injury, she was one of the top women wrestling at that point in time, like prior to her injury. Like she was good.
All right. Well, I hope she come back good to impress me because if she come back Ruby Soho good, I'm gonna be
Let's be honest. Let's be fair. She ain't wrestled in 5 years. It's gonna be rough. But the fact that she took her first bump like the week before last against Britt, that says a lot. She's cleared.
Okay.
She ain't got to worry about that.
She did say
But
that. She said she was clear to wrestle.
yeah, yeah, but she needs to be practice wrestling every week to get her muscle memory back on point.
This is very true because of Anika Wilson. Soraya is forever Sriracha on my show, unfortunately. So it will always be Sriracha. I know you hear me be back saying Sriracha. That's why, because Anika was calling her Sriracha in the comments, and I just it just stayed. There was a little promo between the Kingdom and Wardlow. So we're getting Taven versus Wardlow for the TNT belt on Rampage. I don't have much
Cool,
to
they
say
just
about
signed with AEW as well. Like they all signed with AEW recently as well. I think it was Maria, Matt, and Mike. All three of them, they recently signed a multi-year deals with AEW.
I believe you might be right. I believe you.
No. I'm confirming. They signed the deals.
Oh.
The deals are done.
It's
like
done.
the Kingdom is officially all elite.
All right. Okay. You heard it on my show. The tea spiller. I don't argue with the tea spiller. All right. So we got, okay. So this match, I'm going to spend just a little bit of time, because, I don't like to hold people up for too long. I like to give people back their night, but I got to talk about it because I have been talking about this particular wrestler, on my show pretty much every week, even if he hasn't had a match, simply because I'm just so over the hate that he's been getting. Guevara versus Bryan Danielson. First of all, that match was probably my favorite match of the night. It was a 10
This
out
is
of
a match
10.
of the year contender, first of all.
Fucking amazing. And there were people on social media that were tweeting, I can't stand the fucker, but wow, did he deliver? Like, can y'all just get over it?
Okay, here's what we're not going to do. I'm tired of the Sammy hate at this point. Yes, he runs his mouth a little too much. He talks too much. I get it. He has his little, he has his mishaps here and there, but the guy can wrestle. I've never heard one person say, "Oh, he can't wrestle."
Nobody. But they have said that he injures people. I don't think so. He just had some bad matches. Because, Matt Hardy, that was.
I never heard him injure Hardy. I ain't never heard no report coming out like that.
They said that he supposedly dropped Ruby Soho wrong, and they're trying to continuously.
Let's be clear. What hurt Ruby Soho was Tainara when she went to do that Thai KO move off the knee, like off the back type of spin around. She didn't protect her nose. That's how she got injured. That had nothing to do with Sammy.
But you know how it is, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But no, Sammy didn't have nothing. Because if that was the case, he wouldn't have been on TV. Because Tony don't play that.
And yesterday people were so shocked at how amazing he is that people forgot themselves and started clapping and cheering, and then you would see them pull back. Like for any Sammy moves. And I'm like, y'all just need to give that guy his flowers.
Is gonna be,
God,
once he reaches his full potential, he's gonna be one of the greats of this generation.
Yes, agreed. So that, Bryan Danielson won by submission, and I think they did it in a fabulous way because Sammy was able to go toe to toe with the American Dragon, and props to the American Dragon for always putting forward younger talent and letting them shine.
First of all, he was going toe to toe with his idol, who he said on Twitter today, I was 14 years old. Well, I was a certain age watching him on TV when I was working for some store, but last night I was actually able to wrestle him.
Yeah, that's
full circle. That was a full circle moment for him last night. Like, I can't take that away from him. Like, yeah, him or not.
Sammy's living his best life.
Ain't he married? Got a hot wife? Come on now.
Get over it already. It's over. Y'all be doing y'all dirt in secret, and because you're not famous, your shit ain't out all over the place spattered. But whenever somebody does anything with their life, and granted, he should not have proposed to his ex on television because you invited people into your life. Keep that shit private. And if anybody finds out about your private life, you can tell people to go fuck themselves because you did not invite them in.
But at the end of the day, I've never been the one that, they need to be off TV because they put their relationship out there too much. Okay, yeah. But That match he did against Brown last night, that was like a match of the year contender.
That was an amazing match. That was an amazing match. But
that was my match of the night outside of Jamie and Riho.
Yeah, and that's the next match that we're going to
Which
talk
was another
about.
one.
What was really quick, there was a small promo with Ray Phoenix wanting a chance at the All Atlantic Championship, and then Christian Cage showed up with Luchasaurus, and they're saying, why should you get a chance when this guy's been running through everyone? And of course, Orange Cassidy, the current All Atlantic champion, who beat it off Pac. He beat Pac for it. Pulled it out of his bag very nonchalantly, and once again, we end up with another triple threat match. OC,
that's going to be good. That's going to be good.
He's going to retain.
That's going to be good.
Because you have
that
three
match is
different
going to be
types of
good.
wrestlers. You have three
That
different
match
types
is going to be great.
styles. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Because first of all, we got two high flyers like the dinosaur going at it with Ray Phoenix. Oh, listen, those spots are going to be ridiculous.
Yes, I really am looking forward to this match. And I mean, but Orange Cassidy is going to retain. Neither one of these guys are going to win. But it's nevertheless going to be great. But this led into your second favorite match of the night, which was Jamie Hayter versus Riho. You know what? This was way better than I anticipated. And this was a great win for Jamie Hayter. Some people did not think that Hayter was going to win because she's going up against Riho. But if I have said it in the past, and of course I used the wrong word, I called Riho a high-end jobber. But my husband tells me it's gatekeeper, not jobber. So
baby, she's far from that. She's definitely far from that.
When you beat Riho, you definitely are on your way to a belt. Like, it shows that
we have to keep in mind, she was their first women's champion. She was their first ever women's champion, and she's one of the best wrestlers in the world for her to be only 25. Like, that girl is young, so she's gonna get the women's championship again. But now it's not her time. But her going up against Jamie, baby, that was a clinic last night for women's wrestling. How it should be on a Wednesday night.
It was amazing. It was an amazing match. I was so happy. I saw it yesterday, and I saw it again today. And it was just such a good match. They were going back and forth. I'm so very happy that it wasn't a cradle pin win.
Riho adds so much to the division because her skill set is just that great. Anytime she's on TV, you know you're gonna get it. And she's one of Kenny's proteges, so you know you're gonna get a high quality match. So I was so here for her versus Riho last night. But Jamie Hayter, her time is now.
Yes, it was great. Hayter won, of course. She has such a brutal brain buster. After the match,
I want her versus Jade. I want Jade versus Jamie Hayter.
But that's what we're gonna get at Full Gear, aren't we?
No, we're most likely getting Nyla versus Jade for the TBS championship.
So then Nyla can lose, and then at Winter is Coming, we're getting Jamie Hayter versus Jade, where she's gonna take it, because we all know she's getting the TBS belt.
Let's be real here. Let's be real here. We're overlooking one person. I think they're gonna give it to Red Velvet. I think she's gonna be the one to dethrone Jade, because we got to remember, Jade has beaten her in 3 matches that matter. She beat her in her debut, she beat her in the second match, and she beat her in the TBS tournament. She ain't never beat Jade. What better way to start Jade's babyface run? Because she's going to turn babyface. Let's be honest. She's been planting seeds. They can't. They ain't doing nothing to get my title back. I can't depend on them. They're planting seeds. I think they're going to have Red Velvet screw her. What better way to have Red Velvet screw her and win the championship?
I have to write this down because I really don't believe that.
Because like who else can beat her other than Sheeta? And they're not going to have her wrestle Sheeta right now. So who can beat her in the division if not Nyla?
Jamie Hayter. That's who they're getting ready.
Jamie ain't the one. Jamie not the one. She not the one. Because we got to remember, all this ties into Britt. Jamie's going to be champion, but I think it's going to be the next AEW Women's World Champion. And that's what's going to be the split of Jamie and Britt.
I don't see that. I think Jade's going to hold. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Jade's going to hold the AEW Women's Championship at some point. And when Chris Statlander comes back at some point, they're going to either build her towards the TBS Championship or the AEW Women's Championship.
She ain't coming back till late summer 2023.
I know.
They can't afford to have Jade be champion that long, because then you're crippling the division, and we don't need another Roman.
No,
we don't need another Roman.
Jade can't be champion that long, but I don't see Red Velvet coming back, turning on Jade, and then
the history's already there. Oh, think about it. The history's already there.
That's a nice twist, but I really don't think so. Only because I feel like AEW has been building Jamie Hayter towards a belt, and they talk about it all the time. So I'm just really curious to see if they're going to actually drop this ball. To me, it would be a ball drop if they don't put the belt on Jamie. That's how
it would be a ball drop if they don't put the main title on Jamie. But I'm just saying, think about it. They have done stranger things.
So she would have to dethrone who? Because are you saying that Toni Storm is going to retain that belt when it's time to bring the interim belt and the actual belt
She's
together?
absolutely beating Thunder Rosa, as she should.
Ooh.
Yes, she should.
No.
She should. And she's been having better matches than Thunder Rosa was prior to her being off TV.
Oh, my girl. My heart.
And she looks more like a champion than Thunder Rosa did prior to her going off TV.
God, B-Man. Stop. Oh, no. I think that Thunder Rosa has been badly booked. 100%.
I have tea on that too. I'm gonna give you opposite.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
I'm gonna give you the real tea as far as her not being on TV, but that'll be off of here.
Okay.
But you're gonna get it.
Off air.
And I say this, it ain't because of the injury either. She ain't off TV because of the injury. I'm gonna say that.
She's been posting on her channel her therapy and all that stuff.
Girl, please. I know what she said, but what's happened behind the scenes, baby, that ain't what it is, boo. But we can.
Oh Lord. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Kingston dropped a really erratic.
A screw job, anyone?
No.
Anywho.
Eddie Kingston dropped a really erratic promo. It was really weird. And he was just basically telling Renee, I believe it was Renee Paquette, leave me alone. I don't feel like talking. Penta's going to have, one of the best matches of his night, but John Moss is going to have a tough time, but he's going to win. That's it. Don't talk to me. And then he walks away. And then that led to, and I'm not going to spend time on Kingston's promo because that was just weird. And I don't think it really.
I don't know what they do, Eddie. Like, I don't know the direction I don't know the direction where they're going with this. I don't know, like, if it's a pity, self-doubt type storyline,
I don't know. It was just weird, and it didn't lend anything towards the match that was coming up, towards Eddie's character or anything. It was, to me, a waste of a minute. And I like Eddie Kingston. So then Darby Allin dropped a promo where he got deep and dark as usual and was talking about wanting to, do this on his own, referring to Sting not helping him. Here we go again, because this is not the first time.
And we have a surprise coming in for that next week.
It's not the what?
We have a surprise coming in for him next week.
For Darby?
He's facing a surprise opponent of Jay Lethal's picking.
Right.
And I don't know who it could be. I don't think they're signed, but somebody's debuting next week.
That's Tony Khan for you, always debuting new people.
Actually, there's two surprises for next week because Chris Jericho's facing a surprise Ring of Honor past champion as well, who we don't know nothing about.
That is correct. They did say that it was a past Ring of Honor champion, and we're not going to find out until Showtime. So next week's going to be really, really, really interesting. I think when you're working your way towards a pay-per-view, the weeks leading up to it are just fire because you're getting.
And we're definitely going to get more teasers from the Elite. We definitely get more promos or vignettes from the Elite
until they pop out. I think they're coming back out next week Dynamite. That's what I think.
I
I know
think
you
you
said
dropping the ball though. I think you dropping the ball too early if you debut them next week when you can play this out for at least 2 more weeks and then have them come out at that go home show the week before for a year. You know, it's not that same week. Debut them that Wednesday, but no. Debut them that Wednesday and then book the match, them versus Death Triangle for the trios at Full Gear. I'm just saying.
and they get it.
Yeah, rightfully so.
You want the Elite to get the belts back?
Rightfully so, because they never should have lost them to begin with.
They never should have won them to start.
Yes, they should have.
No, that should have been Death Triangle from the beginning. That's why there was some locker room trouble in the back, because people were saying that they always have to get the belts. They should have let somebody else debut with those belts, and then they can take them.
I understand that. But come on, this is Kenny Omega we talking about. Not too many people can go toe to toe with Kenny Omega and trios and say they got to do it.
Well,
but yeah,
I'm just writing down a note that you said that the Elite will debut a week prior to Full Gear.
I'm saying if it was me, I would book it like that. I would book it, have them debut that go home show. Like they wouldn't debut next week if I was booking it. They would debut the week of Full Gear.
I think we're gonna get a bigger, longer promo at Rampage,
and
at Dynamite they might come out towards the end.
I still think you leaving money on the table. Debuting them that early after this fire promo last night. You can't Thanos them and then debut them that next week. You gotta let it play out. Like let the suspense build even higher. I'm just saying. But then again, stranger things have happened, so they just might come back next week. I'm just saying.
I guess we'll see. Bye, Punk. Yes, bye, CM Punk. Peace. Punk
had to go.
Yeah, Punk had to go. The main event did not let me down.
Oh my God.
It was so good. It was so good. To no neck bone.
I did not want it to end. I was upset. I was upset it ended.
I have to address this really quick. Malachi Black is not officially gone.
No, he's definitely not gone.
He wanted to be gone.
No, he's not gone.
Tony Khan said, we are not dropping anybody's contract. And I guess he must have told them, your contract, you can sit on ice or you can wrestle while your contract is still active. And I guess he decided, I guess I'm going to take a short little break and come back.
He'll be back in AEW.
Yeah, he's going to be back. Tony Khan's not releasing nobody except for CM Punk. He's buying out his contract. And that's going to be.
He had to go. He had to go. Yeah,
he had to go. He had to go for sure. Which brings us to the main
event, though.
Jon Moxley versus Penta and Cero Miedo. And Moxley did not bleed.
I was surprised. I was shocked.
I saw the whole match and I was like, there's no blood.
Something not feeling right because I don't see no blood on my screen. So, like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Like, what's your blood? Who is this doppelganger?
This ain't the Moxley I know because I don't see no blood smeared and then
he sometimes.
But it was a good match though. That was another high quality match. Third match of the night for me.
It was. Listen, he beat Penta with some nice little combo moves in the end.
Listen, I can watch that combo all day just because that was smooth.
That was
that was one of the smoothest transitions I've seen.
He did a paradigm shift to a brain buster. It started with he also got out a King Kong lariat at some point, but that pin stick. But yeah, it was such a great match. But when it ended, I was like, there's still some time left. What's going on? And lo and behold, the Firm comes out and starts whooping Jon Moxley's ass. Just like MJF has said, don't do. And Stokely comes out. But at least
it wasn't Stokely who touched him, though.
Yeah, Stokely came out with his grandma sweater. And he started yelling at the people to fuck him up some more, and do this and do that. And eventually the crappy security guard came out and they got fucked up. And then boom, MJF comes out and he looks conflicted. And this is what we were saying earlier in the show, that we're getting what could potentially be the indications
Of a babyface run.
Yeah.
Or a tweener. I think it's going to be a tweener. He can go either or.
It's an unfortunate face turn, in my opinion, because I love him as a heel and I don't want to see
would make him a tweener. You don't know what he's going to do.
You don't know. Yeah, he goes back and forth kind of situation. He can pull that off, definitely. He has the crowd. But what ended up happening was he fired Hathaway and the firm right there. And as soon as he did that, boom, they fucked him up.
As they should have.
As they should have. Morrissey put his ass through a table. But like my husband and I were saying, hey, at least now both you and John Moxley are fucked up. So it is still even.
And at least it gets, it's like it gives the firm the heat that they needed.
Exactly. Because, I mean, Ethan Page has the crowd. They do like him. But the rest of the people, they just seem like extra.
MJF versus
they got a Lee Moriarty in there. That's just a waste.
MJF versus Ethan Page. That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be interesting. And it has to happen because I think MJF needs at least one match that he has to win before the pay-per-view. And it's going to have to be somebody from the firm.
Yes.
And that is the freaking end of the show that we watched, but it's not the end of this show because it is that time. I gotta tweet it out. It is that time. Do y'all know what time it is? It is the hot seat, y'all. The hot seat. So you already know how this goes, right? So I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, and you are going to respond. I start you off easy. I'm going to give you a silly question. Then there's a raunchy question. There is a raunchy question this time.
I flourish in the hot seat, though.
You flourish in the hot seat? Ooh, wee. Well, Mr. B-Mac, I am going to change this so that you are really in the hot seat. Ooh, here we go. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm starting you off easy. Would you rather be stung by 7 bees in one go or get stung by 1 bee every day for 7 days? So do you want it all at once or do you want to spread it out?
I'm going to be puffy like a pufferfish either way. So I would say spread it out because I'd die if it was all at one time. That's too much venom. No, but after 7 times, baby, I'd be dead.
I'd be like, ooh, just get it over with right here. Get my leg. Get that medicine ready because I would not
spread it out. Listen,
at once. I would not come back outside ever again.
For 7 days, I can do it for 7 days, but at one time, no, thank you.
You have to understand, I've never in my life been stung by a bee to this day.
I ain't never been stung either. I've never been stung either, which, thank God for that. Right? But yeah.
Don't you live in the South or in the Midwest?
I'm in the South, so baby, when it's hot, them bees be out.
How you avoid the bees?
Listen, I stay inside when I'm supposed to.
Gotcha. All right, here we go. Here's the silly question. Would you rather always have to wear a bib outside when you eat or only be able to drink from a sippy cup even when you're at a bar drinking alcohol?
Girl, I'm getting clowned either way, but give me a sippy cup and get it over with, please.
You gotta bling the sippy cup out.
Listen, bling it out and then I can do it, okay?
I think I would pick the sippy cup too. Can you
Yeah,
imagine
please.
running around with a bib? All right, here comes the raunchy question. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you rather be with someone who is extremely awesome and treats you very, very great, but you never climax during sex, or be with someone who is a total jerk, but the sex is to die for?
Listen, give me that hot sex. I call it a day.
You'll deal with the jerk?
Please.
You didn't even hesitate.
I can put up with a jerk, but I can't put up with no climax. No, ma'am.
Oh, man. All right. Well, here is your bonus. You ready?
Absolutely.
It's not a would you rather. It's a thoughtful question. Here
Okay.
we go.
Okay.
If you could jump into the dreams of someone you dislike as often as you want it for as long as you want it, and haunt their dreams and do more while they slept, would you? And if so, what exactly would you do to them?
No, because that takes too much energy. And then, first of all, that's a creep, which I'm neither one. So I can just treat you like you don't exist at all.
That's true. That's true. You don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your dream time invading other people's dreams.
Listen, because me not paying you attention gonna piss you off even more. So why would I give you the time of me being in your brain 24/7? No, I would just rather you know that you don't exist to me, and then kill you silently that way. So no, do you just don't exist.
Period. Well, I liked that response. B-Mac, please, before we leave, let the people know where they can find you once again. Tell them about your show.
Yes. Check me out on check me out every week, every Thursday night on Double Count Pod. Me and my co-host at Blunts Mahoney on Twitter. And follow me on Twitter. It's Malona_Mount with 4 B's.
Yes. And thank you, everybody who joined us in the chat. I appreciate y'all. And for anybody who's watching this now, please make sure you hit that like. And if you're not subscribed,
listen, you have some dope supporters. So listen, I love you and your show and your supporters. It's like they treat me with nothing but respect every time I come here.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, the people in the room are always the best. We were missing people, but it's all good. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much for joining. It's been great. Have a good night, y'all.
Yeah, so I can give you that tea offline about the Elite and the Thunder Rosa deal. But we're going to